Okay, so these are the Q Workshop Blue Star Lotus Japanese dice set here. Uh, so that's the box for it, and these are the dice. In terms of the box, it's pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of Bushido blah stuff on the back, and some Japanese writing on the front. What this says is just Q Workshop's motto in Japanese. So, すべてのダイスには物語がある, which is just, every dice has a story. The mold for the actual thing that contains the dice has this extra bit here, which doesn't contain anything. My friend who works in dice supply says that this is actually just the same mold as their Witcher dice, which comes with the coin. So, oh well. In terms of the actual dice, the feel of the dice is different than our standard resin dice. I don't know. I don't have too much experience with regular dice. But it feels kind of smoother, you know? It's kind of hard to say. The dice themselves are fairly easy to read, with the exception of the D12, I feel like, which has just there's too many flowers on the border to read it at a glance. Like, you throw it like that and it's just kind of, it's kind of crowded. That's 12. Oh, that's 12 of that. It's 3. It's kind of crowded. The individual numbers themselves are, fine. Pretty standard calligraphy style, all things considered. The D10, what they use for the 10 number, the 0 on a standard D10, they actually have where is it? They actually have the character for 10 here, so it's not ambiguous. And then for the percentile dice, they have a 100 here. So it's funny because if you're actually trying to roll this as a percentile dice, and you happen to roll like 80 and then 10, you can't actually read this as 80. You'd have to read this as 80 plus 10, which is one way of counting the numbers. But yeah, and then you can't actually get the single digits because there's no 0 on the percentile dice. Because that's actually just 100. So this thing actually goes from, what is it, 11 to 110, because theoretically that says 110, and then the other thing I wanted to note is that the design for the D20, the 20, where is it? Where is it? 20, 20, 20, 20, 20. No, give me a second. There it is. This is a 20, but at a glance, the top stroke of the 2 over there overlaps with the upper flower from the border. So at a glance, this reads as 110 and not 210, which is 20. So that's unfortunate. There is another character they could have used, in my opinion, which actually means 20, but it's very rarely used. So I guess, they didn't use it because it's hard to recognize for most people. But it really would have aided recognition, because most people who buy this set probably are buying it for the novelty and not because they can actually read it. What is that? Natural 1. Jesus Christ. When I was testing this with a couple of friends, I rolled like so many natural 1s. That's a natural 6. I rolled so many natural 1s with this thing. It's kind of hilarious. That's a natural 1, and it's not too hard. The other numbers are not too hard to read. That's an 11. Nope, that's the 20. See? Because when I first saw this, I thought this was upside down and this was an 11, but no, that's actually the natural 20. Yeah, that's kind of the really big downside. 10, 2, 9, 10 again. Okay. Another 20, but it just looks so weird. That is a 20, but it was just when you see that, I don't think that's a 20. I don't get the same feeling. I keep reading that as 110. You know, 14, 18, 17, yeah. But yeah, the standard, you know, top, the corner, the corner style, D4, D10, nothing particularly. The D12 again is kind of crowded, especially if you're doing 12 here. It's really crowded, right? At a distance, it looks pretty crowded. There's quite a lot of minor paint defects on this. Like for example, you look closely, the 6 has a bit of a minor paint defect. I believe my D6, the 5 has kind of a paint defect there too. And the flower in the top right-hand corner is missing a bit. And then there's a bit of a blank space in there. And initially, actually, the D20, I don't remember which number it was, also had a defect, but I got it replaced because I bought it directly from my friend who supplies dice, and he let me swap out the D20. I don't remember which number it was. I think it was probably one of the 10 something, probably 12 or something. But yeah, considering how their, you know, Q Workshop's specialty is the specialty faces, I would have assumed that there'd be more quality in the paint job, but oh well. The feel of it is really smooth though, which is fortunate.